Hello, everyone. It's Ash with the Sweet Spot. Thank you for being here. I didn't think I would be a small business owner, but here we are. I started my art education journey in 2023 when I decided to change my major. Previously, I was an environmental science major. So even as an artist, I still want to kind of root what I do sort of in my inspiration from the earth and science, my respect for environmentalists, and just treading lightly. I use hashtag work in the works as a reminder that the work that we do can be very hard, and it feels like we're in the trenches. But there's always a process that leads us to the things that make make us who we are and make us good artists and creatives, problem solvers, and all those things are necessary, I think, for change. Um, when I was on my self-discovery, or I guess for my business, trying to figure out who I am and how to represent myself as a brand or personality, these were the sort of symbols and icons I was using to catch people's eye, try to get across the idea of like what my brand is here to represent, in my business. So the sweet spot we have like the stars, the recycle symbols, smiley face, all of these things sort of capture just like the overall mood and tone of what it is I like to create. In my creative practice, I'm inspired by feminism and self-expression. My art follows themes of activism, environmentalism, and alternative culture. I use my creations to educate others on waste reduction and the importance of self-expression and self-love. I use secondhand materials in my work to reduce waste and work with limitations, which helps my artwork explore environmental connotations and invoke questions within my audience. The purpose and inspiration of my creative practice stems from my love of the earth, and my I feel that it's part of my responsibility to educate others, um, and inspire others, and I hope my artwork, is capable of doing that. When I'm making something, I try to mix in all of the things that I need to make a successful work of art, and reach an audience that wants to support me, but also can benefit others by like adding into the pool. So if my artwork is inspiring others to pick up litter or just be more of themselves, um, then they're more likely just to do those things and spread the message. So self-expression is one of those things where the more you do it, the more other people are more comfortable doing it. It's important to me that my artwork is honest, and shows myself in a way that I would want to. And I have a very unique way of displaying those sort of things. Um, I also want my work to be sustainable. I want to have a very little carbon footprint. I want to be able to make as little waste as possible, and sort of maximize my resources, in a cost-effective and resource-effective way, and like help give back to the community. My artwork also needs to be desirable. Essentially, if I'm talking about a multitude of things, I need to be able to do so in a way that catches people's eye and does also support myself. Um, if these works aren't desirable, then I'm not doing the right things. I'm not reaching the right people. And I want my work to speak out against injustices. So activism is very important to me, whether it be racial justice, environmental justice, um, LGBTQ rights, feminist rights, being able to have my work inspire others and also spread messages that encourage change. That is what I'm about. I do my best to be eco-conscious when using materials. As a crafter, I'm also very, uh, what's the word? I'm a good problem solver. I do my best to work around limitations, so I have many different ways of using things to keep me busy. I use paint on various upcycled substrates. You can find canvases, make them or reuse them. They last also a very long time, so if you're using a painting um as a commemorative art piece, it can be a very good investment as an artist to make those sort of things. As for fabrics, I'm a sewist, so I really enjoy upcycling and making clothing, backpacks, bags, and other things that are useful in the home. Bedspreads, excuse me, bed sheets, bedspreads, curtains, and clothing are all things that are often donated to places that can sort through them, but ultimately will end up in a landfill. By no means is there a shortage of materials here. So I do recommend, uh, if you're wanting to be sustainable, going out and getting fabric from your local thrift store. I use found objects in my work. They can be pretty cool and interesting. And it also starts the conversation, from an environmental standpoint. Using garbage, it really makes you think about materialism and the idea of like single waste or single use waste. These things sort of contribute to the environmental undertones that I want to get people talking about. When I make also digital work, there's very little waste production. I will say I did get my laptop and my iPad secondhand, so I'm very proud of that. I can also bring these things with me anywhere to make artwork. And the internet has every answer I could ever need about the software I use, where I can get answers, and speak with other artists as well. There is a huge community online. When I'm metalsmithing, I can make artworks that are wearable and long lasting. There's a long history of jewelry, and metal being used historically to make um, powerful statements, such as like the brooches on the First Lady's uniform. Um, but yeah, I really enjoy working with metal. You can also do writing. I really enjoy, just jotting down stuff in my journal. I think it helps the psyche sort of clear out that brain fog, um, and kind of redirects my creativity. That being said, I really love junk journaling. I can kind of slather stuff on a page, and use the trash that I accumulate through my day, and this sort of saves it from the landfill. And then I can collage as well. I really enjoy decoupaging art, with Mod Podge. It is a great tool. Here are some of my artworks. I explore all different sort of materials and substrates here. Here we have upcycled material, paintings, basketry, digital artwork, photo manipulation, oil pastel. Here's another digital artwork. This was inspired by Julia Wolf's album Pressure. I made this look on a sort of whim, but I wanted to use the same sort of colors and imagery to reflect Julia Wolf's album here. And I made a very large photo reel sort of thing so that I could make a carousel on Instagram. I also had made a an advertisement, about a year ago, maybe two, with the same sort of idea about my brand. So I will leave a link here, to check that out. As far as being a business owner, I have to put myself out there and go to tabling events and markets. Here I am at the Vortman's Valentine's Day Market. I think I hit the mark here. I was very on theme. I definitely made some good money that day, even though I wasn't as prepared as I would have hoped. I really love being there and being part of the community. I was so happy to have met as many artists as I did, especially in a community like the one I live in. I look forward to doing more local markets as well. As for the future, I plan on creating more art and sharing them on social media. I aim to operate and sustain my practice as an artist in the community and contribute to local projects. I will build the Sweet Spot into a successful personality online and business to sell my creations and build my business relationships. I will work with other environmentalists as well and educate others on limiting waste production and helping the ecosystem. These are all things I'm passionate about and I am capable of. As far as my info, here is my website. You can find more of my artwork and sort of skill sets there, more about my mission with the hashtag work in the works. I have my Instagram handle there as well as my socials and my email. Thank you so much.